Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang. Let's get it. Like, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that junk was crazy, man. But you can't be mad at me because I straightened him. He all up there looking ugly. Yeah, man, I don't care about that, man. You know what I mean? So Jack was like, man, look, man, I'm glad you said something to him, man. Like, man, don't put your granddad. Like, I'm telling you, bro, like, I ain't, like, real talk, bro. Like, he messed his pack up, me and him would have a problem. He was like, nah, everything good. We was like, everything straight. Everything straight. Everything gonna be straight. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, look, bro, I'm telling you, man, like, I'm gonna try to holler at the Richmond dude and see if we can get this junk ironed out. I said, because at the end of the day, bro, we can't get money and go to war. I said, it's not gonna work. So I was like, we gotta kind of like make sure everything's straight. I said, bro, we can't be doing this. I said, we ain't had no drama before he moved in here, bro. He was like, yeah, you right, man, you right, man. He was like, but look, dude, man, I gotta use the phone just to make sure my peoples don't go handle that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the phone. So I was like, I wanted to go do that anyway, because that'll give me and bro some more time to talk. So I went to go holler at my man again, got the Jack for another 30 minutes. I went holler at him, got the Jack, come back in the cell. Jack come to the room. When Jack come to the room, I'm talking to him again. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, bro. I said, bro, listen, we got something good going on right here, bro. I said, look, I know that's your granddad. You ain't seen him forever, bro. I said, man, but come on, man. I said, look, bro, like, I don't care who it is. My brother wouldn't mess my beard up. Like, I'm sorry, bro. He was like, man, I know, bro. I just ain't, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to just tell him stay away from me. I said, nah, I ain't saying that. I said, just tell him tighten up, bro. I said, just tell him tighten up, man. Because I said, I'm going to try to holler at dudes from the R and get that situation taken care of, man. For we ain't got to worry about if it's going to be some BS. I said, but that dude, Ralph, I said, man, a scary dude to try you too. I said, man, look, I said, he paid you? He was like, yeah, he paid me the next day. Easy, man. I was like, that's what's up, man. He was like, man. I was like, bro, but like, real talk. He was like, hold on. So he went on and called his people. So his mom picked up. So he was telling his mom, I guess his mom was like, what's going on with your granddad and them? And he was like, man, he in here, man, pulling knives out on people, man. And Weezy done had to scream on him. She was like, Weezy, put on speakerphone. I guess that's what she's saying. So he like, hold on. He was like, yeah, Weezy had to scream. She said, Weezy, did you? What I tell you, I was like, I ain't want to go into too much details to scare her. You know what I mean? But I'm like, man, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, man, old head, wow. I was like, man, old head, wow, man. Like, he just out of control, man. You know what I mean? So like, as we on the phone talking, like, she was like, yeah. So she like, yeah, like, I told you, like, just watch him, like, crazy, he's unpredictable, like, you know what I mean? That's why I was trying to tell my son how I had, but I'm like, man, yeah, like, I got my eyes open, I'm just watching everything straight. So I hollered at her, he hollered at her, everything was straight. I get the phone back to my man. So I gave the phone back to my man. Jack was like, yo, I'm trying to go up, man. I ain't trying to mess with my granddad either, man. He got me, man. So I'm like, all right, come back to the cell. So he come back to the joint. I had a Newport. So he rolled the Feezy. I had the Newport. So we hitting the Feezy first. So as we hitting the Feezy, you know what I mean? They hit the police noise. I'm like, oh, man. So we got the Feezy lit in the air. So I get up, put some oil on the lamp. You know what I mean? I was like, who's that? I look, it's the cool young girl. You know what I mean? The young girl, because she come do her rounds and she leave. You know what I mean? So that had me on point after she do her round. She didn't even say nothing about I was messing with the Lala, but that put me on point. I just kept going back to the door after that as we was messing with the stuff. I just kept going back and forth to the door. I'll sit down and I'll come back to the door and look, see what's going on. You know what I mean? As I came back to the door this time, I looked. I just seen his granddad at the door like this. His granddad was at the door. He was like, the door, I slide the door, it's closed, but he at the door. He like, he looking, he like, he doing something. I'm like, I said, what your granddad trying to score or something, bro? Bro got up, bro was like, oh, he ain't trying to score. I still got some lava. He ain't got to score. I was like, you gave him something? He was like, yeah. He was like, oh, like, what he doing then? He was like, he was doing sign language. That's my word. So Jack was like, we both looking out the window. We like, I was like, let's step out right quick. So we stepped out in front of my joint. We just standing on the tail like this. And we started kicking it with being nosy. You know what I mean? So the slider door open up. When the slider door open up, I seen the white dude that be in 32 part. Man, this dude look like freaking one of the characters from Grease in the face, man. That's my word, that old John Travolta movie. Man, that's my word. He had a stupid dude. Man, he had all type of stuff. Man, he had like a maniac in the face, y'all. So boom. That's who he's talking to now. Everybody in the building knows this dude is gay. He's in the honor part though. There wasn't a lot of gay dudes in the building, but he's one of them. And he's talking to him. So when the jump opened up, he talking to him. So like slider closed, boom. And he talking through the door. You know what I mean? So he talking through the door. So we standing there watching the jump. So I'm looking at Jack. Jack looking like he can't believe his eyes. And I'm looking at Jack like, what are you, shocked? I was like, man, I didn't even have to scan this dude, man. But I was like, just for my own personal reasons, man. Let me go ahead and handle business, man. You know what I mean? I was just looking as the jump was talking. He was talking like this. He was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I'm like this. I'm like, Jack was just looking at the jump. Jack didn't even see me. I was like, he's definitely shaking, rolling and rolling his past and his future. I'm like, I didn't even have to do this, y'all. So boom. That's why I didn't scan him in the beginning, because I already knew the count. This man been locked up since 85. Are you crazy? This man probably been locked up so long, where probably shake, rattle, and roll was the thing to do. My word, like, so I don't know, man. I ain't even want to scan him, because I already knew the count. You know what I mean? I'm on Lawrenceville, like, everybody don't be getting scanned, but at the same time, though, I already knew the count with him. So when I scanned him and my scanner told me that, I already knew what it was. So, like, I'm still like sitting there like, yo, this is something else we got to deal with now. You know what I mean? Another problem. So Jack is looking disgusted about it. You know what I mean? He looking disgusted about it. Like he's looking like really can't believe his eyes that he's seeing his granddad down here talking to a freaking dude that shake, rattle, and roll. So he had a conversation for a minute. You know what I mean? So when the dude left, he was at the door. He was like, yeah, hey, look, yeah. He turned around. He was like, and he seen us standing upstairs. He was like, what's up? What y'all into? Let me hit the feezy, man. He started coming up the steps. He was like, you know, the stuff's like this, like, oh, hey. He was like, let me hit the feezy. I can smell it. I'm saying in my head, like, man, he must be thinking he gonna hit your feezy. He ain't hitting my feezy. I don't even want no more of the feezy. You let him hit the feezy. He was like, feezy gone, granddad. He was like, it's gone. And now we right on the top tier by my cell, which is right there in front of everybody can see and everything. He like, it's gone. Like, yeah, it's gone, granddad, man. Like, but look, though. What you got going on, man? You down there hollering at that funny looking white dude, man. What you got going on? He was like, man, look, I know him from the mountains, man. Ain't nothing. I just know him from the mountains. He was like, yeah, you know him from the mountains, all right. Was you shake, rattling, and rolling in the mountains? This word, his granddad was like, was I shake, rattling, and rolling in the mountains? Yeah, I was shake, rattling, and rolling in the mountains. What you mean? Man, I was locked up before you was born. What you think? I was like, oh my God. Everybody in the pod like, everybody's looking. I'm saying in my head, I'm glad I didn't hit the feezy with this guy. I'm so glad I did. You know what I mean? But I hit it behind Jack, and Jack hit it behind him before y'all. So boom. So either way, I'm slightly contaminated. Pause. But at the end of the day, though, man, like this was crazy hearing this, man. That man was like, yeah, I shake, rattle, and roll. What you mean? He didn't say shake, rattle, and roll. You know I shake, rattle, and roll. Yeah. What you mean? I've been locked up forever. What you talking about? Yeah, man. Come on, man. Don't start getting soft on me, man. Yeah, man. I guarantee you was at where I was at, where they had them boys who had them booties like this. I was like, Again, pause wasn't invented yet, but I was, man. He's like, yeah, they had them boys that was like this. Man, you will shake, rattle, and roll too. Yeah. This word, Jack was like, man, look, man, watch your mouth, granddad, man. Look, I ain't gay, man. He was like, look, got news for you. Ain't none of us gay. We just gotta do what we gotta do in here. That's it, man. I was like, wow. Remind me never to hang out with this guy, y'all. So boom. This is the route. Granddad, though, man. Like, I'm still slightly in the situation. Not pause. Not like that. But still, though, man, this man just coming out his mouth super crazy, man. He's coming out his mouth super duper crazy. So as he say that, the white dude called him back to the door. This man was talking to us. He was like, yeah. He was still snapping. That man shot down them steps quick. That man got down them steps fast, y'all. He got down the steps. This time he snuck out. This man out in the hallway talking to the white dude. So I'm like, crazy, man. So Jack was like, man, why I let him move in your cell? I said, why you ain't listen to your mama, man? He was like, I never listen to my mama, man. I was like, man, now look at this, bro. I said, now you in the cell with a freaking psycho granddad that shake, rattle, and roll, bro. He was like, man, I don't like that gay stuff either, man. I don't like being in the cell with nobody to do that, man. I was like, bro, I mean, he your granddad. I mean, so y'all related that blood. So you should be straight at the end of the day. I'm trying to joke around it, just, you know what I mean? He like, nah, Weezy, man, like that joint ain't right though. That joint might not be right though, man. He was like, but for real though, man, like, I ain't really feeling this joint though, man. Like, I just feel bad. I just feel like he gonna get me into some stuff. I said, bro, listen, I'm letting you know now. Before I found out he shaped Rowland Road, I wasn't getting into nothing. You know what I mean? I said, now if I had to come save you, I said, that's a possibility. It depends how crazy the situation is. I said, but look, I'm not getting into nothing that he got to do with. I don't have nothing to do with that, bro. I'm letting you know now. There was a dude over in the honor pod that I guess messed with the white boy. Because the boys, they always got somebody they mess with. They never single. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's no boy in penitentiary that's single, y'all. So boom. And that's just how it go, man. So as we up there talking, we see somebody come to the door. Granddad's still right there at the door talking to the boy. But we see another face pop up at the door. This dude that look a little angry, kind of skinny, older dude. You know what I mean? He pop at the door. He came in the joint. You know what I mean? So he walked in the pod. So when he walked in the pod, him and Jack Granddad went to the brick wall where I be telling y'all the police be posting the back. And they went there and they was having a conversation. We couldn't hear what they were saying, but they was definitely having a conversation. It was like this, dude. Then the door opened up. And you see the boy come in. He came in. He was just standing there. And you seeing Jack Granddad. He was like, he grabbed the white boy arm. He was like, he's with me now. White boy was like, yeah, he's with me now. Yeah, he's with me now. Dude was like, nah, that ain't happening. Tell him who you with. Tell him who you with. So the boy was just standing there looking stupid. He was like, you trying to tell me you trying to lead an honor party to come into this filth? I'm looking at the dude that's in 32 pod that he arguing with, like he calling out pod filth. Just because you're in an honor pod? What, just because you get extra privileges, you better than us, you freaking psycho, Rowland roller, so boom. It's crazy talk about you ready to lead an honor pod to come to this filth. I was hoping he was talking about Jack Granddad. This is my word. Jack was like, man, ain't nothing different than y'all pod and our pod, except y'all get ice cream from time to time. I don't care nothing about that. He was like, look, I can be your ice cream. He told the boy that junk. He was like, I can be your ice cream. Yeah, I can be your ice cream. We down that junk like, oh. This is crazy. So the skinny dude like, you know what? If you want to be with him, go ahead and stay with him. So the boy like, oh, wait. He like, nah. He trying to get the door. He like, nah, wait. He like, get off. You want to stay over here? You stay over here. You stay over here. You stay over here. You know what I mean? So the door open up. The boy go out behind him because he 229 and basically, you know what I mean? So the nigga Granddad still standing at the door like, you be better over here. You be better over here. That's what he's saying through the door. You be better over here. So I guess the boy out there talking to the dude, you know what I mean? So the joint open up again. The joint open up again. You hear his granddad say, look, goddamn it, what you gonna do? What's up? You wanna stay in that damn honor pod, don't you? You wanna stay in that honor pod? You better back the fuck off. If you don't back off, you ain't gonna be in that honor pod no more. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be in that honor pod. So dude like, what you threatening me? He was like, nah, it's a promise. It's a promise. You better back off. Dude was like, this is my boy. And dad was like, man, I don't care. I don't care who boy it is. He about to be my boy. This was just crazy witnessing how a guy that worked so hard to get off the mountains, man, like when they get to these places like Lawrenceville, how they just be so fast to mess it up to get back to where they just left, y'all. So boom. It never made sense to me, man. Now, this man got up here. This man put hands and feet on somebody that owed his grandson. He's snapping about random things. He get into it in the chow hall with the Richmond dude. Now, he's in the building arguing with a dude that shaped Rowland Road trying to take his boy, man. This was out of control, but this is bro Granddad. I just felt like bro was so ashamed, man. Like, I was just looking at Jack the whole time. And I felt bad for him, man. Like, yo, like, this is crazy. I was like, but his mom was right. His mom was right, man. His granddad is a freaking lunatic, man. He's a maniac, basically, man. Like, and like the stuff that he's into is crazy, man. Like, and to see how he's moving was crazy too. Like, I was like, yo, this is wild right here, man. Like, this man come to Lawrenceville, now he about to fight somebody and take his boy. You know what I mean? So everybody at the door laughing at this joint. Everybody like, yo, this joint crazy. Weezy, what's up with dude? I'm like, I don't know, man. I was like, oh, head crazy, man. They like, yeah, oh, head with the naked face game. Like, he a maniac. I'm like, yo, bro, a maniac, man. So he arguing with dude. He threatened dude. He say he gonna do this, he gonna do that. Man, I promise you, man, everything. Goddamn, we went to dinner. Man, his granddad was over in 32 pod. His granddad went to 32 pod, man, which was crazy. He up in the joint. He go in the joint to fight dude. Dude don't want to fight him. They said the boy was in there trying to break it up. From what I was told, The boy was in there trying to break it up, but granddad was going bananas in there making a scene, so they had to get him out of there. So they called Jack to get him, so Jack had to go get him. You know what I mean? So when Jack and the old head come back to the pod, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, what's up, everything good? This word Jack was like, man, he in there trying to fight dude, take his boy, man. Dude was like, this is my word. Granddad was like, that's my boy. Yeah, he just don't know it yet. That's my boy. Yeah, that's my boy. I'm like, yo, man, I wanted to say, man, what kind of example you setting for your grandson right now, man? Like, I wanted to hit him with that guilt, man. Like, you shake, rolling, rolling, you pulling hammers out, you doing this, you doing that, man. What kind of example you setting, man? You know what I mean? I was like, this is crazy right here, man. I was like, you know what, man? I was like, man, I can't wait till the weekend come, because I was like, yo, Jack, real talk, man. Like, if he get in the way of this pack, I was like, me and him gonna have a problem. I'm letting you know now. I was like, look, me and my homeboys gonna bank that nigga. Like, you gotta go, man. Real talk, man. I hate to put it like that, but I was getting tired of granddad ass, y'all. So boom, I was getting sick of it, man. But like, it was just a lot of stuff that was building up. Like, I meant to tell y'all that I kind of like ironed out the Richmond situation with the guys from the 804 that he got into it with. I ironed that out a little bit, man, because everybody knew he was just a freaking crash out. So like, it wasn't even worth a lot of people trouble, especially the kitchen worker trouble. But nevertheless, though, man, like, this is what's going on right now, man. We have a freaking maniac granddad. This is the first dude that I knew was a granddad in penitentiary, with somebody that was in there with him. And this dude was the total opposite of what I thought he was going to be, man. I thought he was going to be somebody that was coming from the mountains, trying to school us to stuff, showing us lessons and all of that, man. But instead, this man trying to tell us it's okay to shake, rattle, and roll. He's trying to tell us this is cool, man. They like, I didn't want that type of advice, man. But like Jack, like I say, it was affecting Jack. It was affecting Jack, man. Like, I just felt like Jack kind of like didn't really know what to do, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it was crazy because Jack had supposed to go and get a visit. So we waiting on the visit. You know what I mean? We had put the play together. So it was crazy because we had put the play together again. And now we just waiting on the visit. So I was waiting on the visit like Friday. You know what I mean? So he getting ready. Jack went and got his haircut. Everything was normal. His granddad then cooled out a little bit. You know what I mean? With him and dude. But in a couple of days, it ain't been no argument with him and dude across the hall. So we waiting on the visit. Saturday rolled around. Jack was waiting the whole time. It's like 1:15. They called rec. Jack don't go over there. Jack don't get no visit. So when I see he didn't go to visit, I panic. I'm like, yo, why this man ain't go to visit, man? So I'm like, this junk crazy. So Jack is looking stupid. I'm like, yo, I'm about to get the phone. I get the phone, call. His mama don't answer. You know what I mean? Get the phone. His sister don't answer. Like, what's going on? It's my word. He called his uncle on his mama's side. Called him. Swear his uncle was like, yeah, I think your mama got locked up. It's like, what do you mean she got locked up? They was like, man, she got locked up down there. They say she got pulled over with some la-la. You know what I mean? She got some pills or something. She was trying to say the pills were hers and all this stuff. They was like, she got arrested. You know what I mean? So you know when you get locked up on a Saturday, you stuck until Monday. You know what I mean? So this is why he couldn't talk to her, but she was locked up. This is what his uncle told him. So bro sick. And like that is game over basically. Because I already know the police gonna take the la-la. You know what I mean? Because they like, yo, where you going? You know what I mean? Like, if you on your way to Lawrenceville, like if you was in that vicinity, like, I don't know if she lied or what. I don't know if they figured out stuff. I don't know what had happened. But all I know is it wasn't a good look. So he was like, when bro heard this, like, he was sick. He was sick, man. Like, I'm talking about, like, he was sick, man. Like, yo, like, dang, his mama locked up. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't got nothing to do. So I guess he went and told his granddad what was going on. So he go tell the maniac, goddamn, this word, the maniac, like, yeah, you be all right. Man, it's always gonna be all right, man. One thing about it, man, we live in this world, we gotta make it all right, man. Like, you be all right. She'll be all right. She getting out. They ain't nothing with some motherfucking la-la, so she'll be out soon. So we was just waiting for Monday to roll around. Monday rolled around. He waited till Monday night to call his mom. And when he called her, she answered. You know what I mean? So she was out on bail. Her and her daughter, they was out on bail. You know what I mean? They told her that, you know what I mean? They tried, like, the main thing they was trying to charge her with is those pills. They saw that, you know what I mean, that she's been to Lawrenceville several times, and like they were saying that she was saying that was her own personal use, but they were saying how she had the la-la package, how my man be having that junk package, and how she probably packaged it. It looked like it's coming in penitentiary. So she was going through that right there. She was going through that situation right there, man. But for real, it was over with. You know what I mean? She was like, as of right now, until she go to the bad news that she gave Jack, she was like, as of right now, man, until they go to the court and fight the case that she's banned from Lawrenceville. You know what I mean? So I was just like, damn, like, that junk was crazy. So she was like, tell Weezy I'll pay his man back for the stuff, because that was my fault. She was like, because they had smoked some la-la, because she was like, they had hit the la-la before they came. So she was like, when they got pulled, the dude smelled the la, and that's what gave him reason to pull. So she was like, tell Weezy I'm gonna pay his man back, everything straight. But she was like, for the most part though, man, just sit your ass down. Just sit your ass down, don't panic. So I seen the panic in bro eyes. You know what I mean? Bro was looking sick. He was looking sick about this situation. You know what I mean? Because he knew it was game over. No more getting money. No more of that shit. Like me, I done been through people that done fucked up the route. You know what I mean? And they go like that sometimes. So I was just like, I was mad. Once she told me she was going to pay me back, there was nothing else I could do. I had to move on, y'all. So boom. Jack, he didn't want to move on. Jack was just still, after he hung the phone up, he was just sitting on the joint like, and I just seen 2 tears drop. Like, crazy, man. It's my fault, man. I got my mama locked up, bro. I was like, bro, it's not your fault, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, stuff happened, bro. I was like, this is be happening. There won't nothing serious in there. I said, she gonna be all right, bro. He was like, no, crazy, man. I'm hard at you. You know what I mean? Bro dipped off. Like, I was like, man, shit crazy. So when he dipped, I ain't see him till like dinner time. You know what I mean? When I seen him dinner time, he was like, man, this shit crazy, Weezy, man. He was like, man, I ain't got shit else. How I'm gonna get money there? I was like, bro, I don't know, bro. You just gotta try to find another way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happens. He was like, nah, bro, like, man, for real though, I'm ready to start rocking with my granddad. I'm like, rocking with your granddad? He like, yeah, I'm about to start rocking with my granddad, man. Like, we just gonna start taking nigga shit, Weezy. I'm like, taking nigga shit? He was like, yeah, you know, he got a knife. Fuck that shit, Weezy. I ain't finna be in. Just to hear how the bad influence of his granddad was rubbing off on him was throwing me off. I'm like, he's telling me all this. I'm like, take something. Like, all this is unfamiliar on Lawrenceville. I said, yo, bro, listen, bro, you on Lawrenceville, bro. He said, that's exactly why. These niggas soft as a bitch, Weezy. Fuck that shit, man. I gotta get my ass, Weezy, man. I said, yo, bro, listen, bro, you don't want to do that. I said, just sit your dumb ass down and wait for another opportunity, bro. He was like, nah, fuck that shit. He said, one thing my granddad right about, goddamn, you gotta make the best of this shit. And since I ain't getting the pack no more, I'm about to start taking the pack, Weezy. So boom. I'm like, yo, this shit wild as a bitch, man. But you know, this how dudes be transitioning over to different things. This is how bad influences can jump into your soul and make you do different things, man. His granddad is a fucking lunatic. And he got this man moving crazy, man. So I ain't gonna lie. When I looked, his granddad was standing in their door. And I seen him talk. I seen him looking as me and bro was talking. But we didn't talk long because I felt like I couldn't change bro mind. Or maybe he was just talking out his ass at the moment. Pause. So he walked back and went in his cell. So as I'm in the cell, I hear a knock at the door. That knock was like, this is my word. That joint was like, I was like, yo! He was like, I seen that naked face come to the window. He was like, I was like, do-do-do-do-do. I was like, what's up? He was like, can I? I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Come on, man. He opened the door. I was like, do-do-do-do. I'm like, what's up? He like, hey, look. One thing about it, I respect how you looked out for him before I got here. But like, don't be putting nothing in his head about what we about to do. Like, ain't no takers up here for real. Like, every prison got takers, Weezy. Ain't no takers up here, man. You got all these soft ass niggas getting the package. I'm gonna take that shit, Weezy. That's what the fuck I used to do in my bed. Ask anybody. I was like, yo, first of all, you need to calm the fuck down in my goddamn cell, old head. Fuck around with you. He was like, look. Don't be putting nothing in his motherfucking head about not being a taker. I'm gonna show him how to be a fucking taker, nigga. This shit Candyland up in this motherfucking camp. I said, what you trying to go back to the mountains on granddad? That's what you trying to do. I said, the way you moving and you about to have your grandson to move, I said, both of y'all ass gonna be on a bus to the goddamn mountains. He was like, shit, so be it. Goddamn it. Whatever's in the cars is in the cars. That's how I live. Goddamn it. You know what I mean? I just live like that. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn mountains. I'll do the mountains on my goddamn head. Can you? I'm like, nigga, I ain't never trying to go to the mountains, nigga. That's the smart thing about me. God damn it. Fuck the mountains, nigga. I said, I can't get no money in the mountains. I said, I get money. You take money. That's the difference. He was like, nigga, I'm gonna fuck about getting money. I'll take it. Anything I want, I'll take it. So he looking at me. I'm like, yeah. All right, nigga. Fuck you mean? Well, fuck, nigga. You ain't gonna take shit in this goddamn cell. The hell is wrong with you? So it was like a Mexican standoff in that jank. I'm like, yo, he like, yeah. Goddamn it, y'all all right, dude. Y'all all right, dude. So you all right. I said, man, I'm all right anyway. You know what I mean? So he dip out the cell. When he dip out, my man coming to the joint. I'm like, yo, head Josh, somehow threatened me, man. I was like, man, I don't know what's up with that nigga granddad, man. He was like, man, that old nigga crazy, man. I was like, yo, this nigga can't be real, man. Like, where the fuck did this nigga come from, man? This nigga granddad, I promise y'all, this nigga was straight out of comic book, y'all. So boom. Fuck, this nigga on some Maniac shit. But the word that came back, that the dude in 32 party be getting a la. He was connected to the dude that messed with the boy. Now, I don't know. The only person I can think, because I didn't even know this information, because I told y'all those dudes in 32 part are super duper scary because they're in the honor part. Like, they keep their business, you know what I mean? And they always got somebody facilitating their play. Like, that's just how they got to survive in there. So, like, I think the only way that the nigga granddad that got this information is because the boy told him. So I was like, this have to be an inside job. Like, because he told him that the nigga is selling is the nigga that's really getting the pack. So I'm like, yo, this shit wild. So I was like, for real, I wanted to holler at Jack. But I'm like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, niggas already talk about getting a nigga. So I'm like, man, I ain't saying shit, man. So like Jack, I guess he was feeling guilty. You know what I mean? But goddamn, he was like, yo, hey, Weezy, and I need to holler at you right quick. I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, the cell. I'm like, man, I go to the cell. I'm like, what's up, man? He was like, yo, look, man, I ain't gonna ask you the phone. I know you ain't fuck with me on that. And he was like, look, I need you to call my mama, man, and let her know, goddamn, if I go to the hole, so I ain't gonna be getting out, and I'm gonna see her soon, bro. I was like, look, bro, first of all, bro, you don't have to do shit that your granddad be doing. I said, your granddad is a fucking loser. I said, this nigga been locked up ever since goddamn Walter Payton was running the ball, nigga. I said, you trying to be like this nigga, bro? He was like, man, go ahead. I said, bro, listen, man, this man old as fuck, bro. I said, man, he don't got nothing else to lose, bro. I said, you do. This nigga ain't got shit to lose, bro. He was like, man, I'm gonna go with him, though. I'm trying to get some of that la-la. I was like, bro, fuck that la-la, bro. I said, get your own shit, bro. You gonna take a nigga? He was like, man, fuck that shit, Weezy, man. That man went in his pocket. And man pulled out like a little, it wasn't a big knife, but it was a sticker. You know what I mean? He was like, look what he made for me, though. Look what he made for me. I'm sitting there looking at that shit like, what's that for? The hell you doing with that, bro? He was like, hey, what you mean? Shit, you about to take that shit from that nigga. Fuck you mean? You about to take that shit from that nigga ass. Goddamn it, fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? You about to take that shit. I said, bro, listen, bro. If you go over there with them goddamn knives, man, I said, man, look, that shit can probably get ugly, bro. I'll let you know now. That shit can get fucking ugly, man. He was like, no, bro, like, for real, bro, like, goddamn, you know what I mean? You can goddamn go over that bitch and take this shit. If the nigga buck, goddamn, my granddad said he gonna stick him. I ain't gotta stick nobody. He told me just hold a knife. I'm like, he told you just hold a knife. I'm like, man, your ass. I said, all right, man, do your thing, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do, bro. As he say that, his goddamn granddad was like, hey, come here. Jack, come on. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, they probably gonna do this at lunch. This was, you know what I mean, a sweet time to do it at lunch. I'm like, this is crazy, man. I'm like, this is crazy, man. These dudes is out of control, man. So he dipped. I told bro, I don't got nothing to do with your mama, bro. I can't call and let her know, bro, you about to be a psycho. I can't do none of that shit. So he dipped. You know what I mean? So when lunch came, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck had happened. Man. All you seen was a million fucking police running down the joint. Man, they was running down it, man. They ran to our building so motherfucking deep, man. But they didn't come in our part. We looked, and they was going straight in the 32 part. They was going in 32 part. Deep as a bitch. Deep as a motherfucker, man. It was probably about every police on the compound. So whatever code they had let out, that shit was a distress signal for everybody to come, y'all. So boom. So I come down the steps, you know what I mean, get a better look. I'm just like, fuck going on? I looked around the pod. Looked up by their cell. I ain't see goddamn his granddad or him. I'm like, shh. I'm just hoping. I'm just like, watching him like, everybody at the door. It's my word. First person you see come out was his granddad. His granddad was like, boom, he hit the wall. He like, this shit was leaking. This is my word. I look, granddad was leaking. I'm like, fuck, granddad come out leaking. He's like, he looked at me with his last eyeball like, they take that nigga out. They take him. Next thing you know, you see the tall dude, the gay dude that messed with the boy. He come out calm. He like, next person you see come out, you see the boy come out. The boy come out like this. Joe Piscopo looking ass. He like, yeah, now actor from Greece looking ass. He like, they take him. Now, next thing you know, you see a big diesel dude coming out. He like, he got two cuffs on. You know how they got a two cuffer nigga? he got two cuffs. He come out like this. He going like, what the fuck? Goddamn. Last person you see come out, Jack, dumbass. Jack come out like this. Jack shit all fucked up. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, what the hell? This nigga Jack looks fucked up. That nigga shit was fucked on his side. I'm talking about that nigga shit was swole. He a light brown skin nigga. That nigga shit was fucked up on his side. So I wanted to be like, yo, Jack. That nigga went out and took him. You know what I mean? So they locked their pod down. They didn't lock us down. You know what I mean? So everybody coming out. the kitchen workers, the yard men, and that's the BLM part, and the other part, they all coming out. So I see the dude, they use that. In the future, he started holding the jack for me, but he cut hair. So I see him. He come out. I say, yo, bro. He came to me. I said, what the fuck happened? He was like, man, that dude, he was getting a pat with the nigga Jack. I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, them niggas came in here to rob dude. He said, as he was standing at the door to hold the nigga down, he said the big nigga, I guess the big dude from Richmond came out of nowhere and knocked this fucking toboggan off. He said when he knocked this toboggan off, he said the boy hit the old head nigga, his granddad, with a lock. And he said, man, they banked the granddad. They banked the granddad. He said the granddad had a knife. They took the knife from him. They didn't even stab the nigga. They said the nigga Jack didn't even get a chance to pull the fucking knife out. You know what I mean? He's standing there holding the door down. Got that old nigga from Richmond cleaned this fucking clock. So they said they beat their ass. They beat both of their ass in there. They said they fucked both of them niggas up, man. They fucked both of them niggas up in there bad. I'm talking about super bad. Beat their ass. So I'm like, God damn. So they got them niggas. You know what I mean? So like probably like 3 days later, the CEO that's cool at work, he was like, yo, the niggas that was in your pod, like both of them got 12 with the hammer. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, both of them had hammers, man. I'm like, damn, man. Like, this shit crazy, man. Shit crazy, man. But like, the dude Jack, he just wild out, man. You gonna follow your granddad, man, to a fucking burning cliff? That's what you gonna do, man. Like, I didn't understand his motives. I didn't understand why he did this, man. All I know is, man, like, the only thing I could do, man, I waited about a week or two, man. You know what I mean? The only reason I waited about a week or two is because, like, I kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, they was out of there. They was out of there, man. They transferred both of their ass. Got down. The nigga, the two old heads that was rumbling in the honor pod, they made it look like it was self-defense because them niggas came over into their pod with weapons and they had to hold themselves down. And they went to the hole and they stayed back there about a month or so. Then they let them back out. And they didn't get to come back to the honor pod. They ended up going different spots, but they both got out the hole. So like, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Probably like fast forward and take probably about 3 months later. About 3 months later, man, because Jack and goddamn his granddad, they both was out of here. I don't know where they went at, but they both was out of here. But 3 months later, I finally got a phone. So when I had got the phone, you know what I mean? Like, I used to write my numbers down, everybody I used to call them, and like on the back of my phone book, like inside of my phone book, I used to write everybody's name and number down. And I used to have bro number, mama number, because he used to let me call her sometime to make sure everything was straight. I never tried to do no bullshit or nothing like that. But I was just like, you know what, man, I need to call and see what's going on, because it's been a little minute. So I called her, she answered, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, how you doing? You know what I mean? She was like, hey, how you doing, Weezy? I was like, look. I was like, how everything went with your case? She was like, oh, they threw that shit out. They wasn't that. She was like, the pills were my pills. And she was like, they just found the weed that was packaged and all that shit and told me I couldn't come back to Lawrenceville. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. She was like, but they threw it out though. I was like, damn, so where your son at? She was like, shit, he in the mountains. She was like, he at Wallace Ridge. I said, for real? I said, where's granddaddy at? She was like, up there with him. Yeah, now he want to be where he's like, she was like, and they gave him an extra 2 years for all of that shit. She was like, yeah, he want to be with his granddad. Now he gonna be with his goddamn granddad for real. I was like, shh. I said, man, I just want to let you know, I try to stop. I try to stop the joint, man. She was like, yeah, I know you probably did, because it didn't make sense. I was like, man, he was wild. I didn't want to give her all the details about how what they was going to do and all that shit, man. But that shit was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, man. Just to hear that a dude crashed like that, man, they just crashed with his granddad was wild, man. Like, but you see some of the wildest shit in prison, y'all. That's just how I go down, man. But that was a crazy situation. That's the end of the damn story, though. I appreciate y'all for watching another one, man. Stay out the way from me, man. It's about to be summertime. Put some clothes on. Go out, man. Drop the top. Drop the sunroof. Do what you got to do, man. It's about to be beautiful out here, man. We don't got time to go to jail. And we got to stay out here with our family in the process. So just stay out the way from me, y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was the Thursday banger game. So we got to do this one. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's go. But be safe out there, y'all. And stay your ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.